Hey, to all the mothers in the world, I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day, and I hope you are having a fun time with your family and loved ones and spending this wonderful Sunday just enjoying your day. You deserve it all for everything you have done for a lot of us in today's world. So, in this week's episode of Nijiiro Days, aka Rainbow Days, episode 17, this continues on what happened from last week's episode with Mary getting injured and being brought to the infirmary by Matsunaga. So we also remember her mothering the world while she was sleeping, Makan, and we wondered, is this some guy that she was involved with or something to deal with her past? But we find out that there was this character that was introduced, just briefly introduced. I don't know if we're gonna see him much afterwards, but he is her older brother who on the outside appearance, he looks like he would give trouble, but really he is a guy who cares for his family and will do anything to protect his family. And he's very much involved with his little sister. But they bring her back, he brings her back home, and Matsunaga has to try to find some way in order to talk to Mary and tell her how he feels about her. So he finds where she lives, and the part what I like was Anna. Even though we don't hear much on Anna and how she felt about Mary, we found in this episode saying that she knows of Matsunaga concerning his feelings for Mary, but at the same time, she's like, if you mess with my friend, I'm not gonna sit by for it. So she does care for Mary, even though she doesn't always say it or possibly physically show it, but she does care for her friend because that's her best friend and she'll always look out for her. So props to Anna for that. So Matsunaga goes by Mary's apartment where he ends up meeting up with the older brother again, and they're talking about Mary, and it's not bad things. They're talking about how talking about little sisters. They're connecting with each other, saying that they both have little sisters, and eventually Masunaga's sister might be in a rebellious stage, and they're talking about how Mary at one point this Malcolm was actually her bigger brother, and it's because of his name Masaomi. So she used to call him that, and she was very much very kind towards her brother, and we can see that they had a really close relationship when she was a very young child. And we also find out that her brother is also married. He got married when he decided to go work while she was in her third year of junior high school. So he's a working man as well as a married man. And he tells Matsunaga that, while she may seem like a very picky person, she once she's devoted to someone, she really cares for people. She's someone who generally does care for people, and she'll always say devoted to them. Hence why we see her so devoted to Anna, because once she opens up herself, she'll always care for that person, but it takes time for her to open up to new people, but eventually she will do that. And Matsunaga also realized that good point. That's one of her good points, that she's very caring towards those who she cares about. And he finds it. He does tell her older brother how hard it is for him to try to get across to her about his feelings, because he confessed saying that he used to play around a lot in the past. Okay, we all know about his playboy tendencies and all of that, him having multiple girlfriends, going out and all of that stuff. But for the first time, he finds it very difficult in trying to get someone to like him, and having these real feelings of love. But from the advice of the older brother passing on to the possible little brother, he has a little bit more hope in hoping that Mary will return his feelings one day. And of course, there was another progression for this week's episode. I didn't think I would have got a little emotional, but at the ending, close to the ending, it got a little bit emotional because Mary, we see her progressing, and I don't know how much times I have to say this, but it's such a beautiful thing because instead of calling him that derogatory word, that trashy guy or something in her phone, she actually calls him, well, types in her phone. It's a little progression, but you may have missed out. But she used to call him a different term on her phone, and by the end of the episode, she changes it to his full name. And it just goes to show how much Matsunaga is affecting her. Even though she likes Anna, you can see that she's slowly opening herself and willing to take in Matsunaga into her life and possibly make him into a love interest. And Matsunaga, as we've seen from the first episode, is this very playful guy. And now that he's very involved and very much ready to allow Mary into his life to be a potential love interest. We see how hard he has been working since they've been first introduced, and that was the part that really touched me. And I cannot wait to see these two get together. Like I wanted to speed up, but at the same time I wanted to play it out in a very slow manner, and it was a really touching part at the end of this week's episode. So that was basically the entire episode. We see that these two are really progressing. Now we just have to see what's up with Anna and Natsuki, and just how far have they come since they've been pushed to the side for just the time being for these two to shine. So if you saw this week's episode, do tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below. The links are in the description box. And once again, I want to wish all of you around the world a happy Mother's Day. I hope you had a fun day today. So I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye.